I think it actually might be fair to say that Kirkua Jerome Ezekiel Cousins is the most polarizing player in the National Football League. Everyone has an opinion on Kirk, and it's either hot or it's cold. Like, there's no one who out there is like, Kirk Cousins, meh, feh. And Kirk caused a mini uproar on Monday when he was talking to the local media jackals about his future. And Will Raggett, Sports Illustrated, go. Kirk Cousins says he wants to retire as a Viking and knows he needs to play well to earn that chance. So, a couple ways to look at this. Is Kirk going to retire now? Because, I mean, we can still fire up the Malik Willis bandwagon, baby. Or, how long is Kirk going to play? So, Kirk turns 34 in August before the season. And as the ages of quarterbacks keeps progressing, and Kirk Cousins, knock on wood, has never had a major injury. He stayed in pretty good shape. Arm strength is still certainly there. And also, I mean, with his weird diet, I mean, speaking of an uproar, every time Kirk has like an avocado ice cream fart, everyone's like, not worth the money or whatever. So the question is, like, I mean, Kirk, theoretically, say he plays till he's 40. That's 7 more seasons, you know, if including this one. So is that what you want? Like, is that what you want? Do you want the Vikings to hitch their wagon to Kirk Cousins for the next 7 seasons? As crazy as that sounds, frankly, if Kirk played the way that he did last year, and I think that with Kevin O'Connell, a guy that he's worked with in Washington, remember, O'Connell was Kirk's quarterbacks coach his final season in Washington 2017 before he got paid in free agency. So in a weird way, we have Kevin O'Connell to blame. But in Kevin O'Connell's offensive line gets better. Justin Jefferson really grows into the best wide receiver in the game. I mean, Kirk, you know, barring some sort of physical meltdown in the next couple of years, I think he could play at a high level and maybe even get better in the next couple of years. And, you know, Kirk's perennially been a, you know, top 15, top 10, top 12 quarterback, wherever, somewhere in there. Could he ascend and become better with age, like a fine wine? I mean, you could make a good case right now that Kirk Cousins is either the third or fourth best quarterback in the National Football Conference. Maybe that says more about the NFC than since the AFC is stacked, man. But I mean, Kirk, again, for the 17th time, Kirk wasn't really the problem last year. That defense was more the issue. But with Kirk Cousins, been here for 4 years with the Vikings, and it certainly started out with fits and starts. But since the bye week of 2020, I think that he's played above the rim. I think that he's played the best football of his career. And the question is, it's not so much about age or cognitive decline or physical decline or whatever. It's about the money. And with Kirk Cousins, it has always been about that cash. Now, say Kirk comes in and has a Pro Bowl season. Kevin O'Connell, him and Kirk Cousins are just like this. Justin Jefferson is out there getting the Triple Crown or close to it. And then, yes, I would consider, hey, we should extend Kirk Cousins for a couple seasons. Maybe, you know, basically give him a 1-year extension, but gussy it up as a 3-year deal where all the guaranteed money is in one season for 2024. And so he'd be under contract through 2024 when he'd be 38 years old. That would be a consideration. Even though, as outlandish as it sounds right now, it is crazy. But at a certain point, even though the cap is continuing to grow at a normal pace because we're past the Rona, you're going to have to make a little bit of room because the cap is indeed a myth to a degree. But you can only kick the can so far down the road. Eventually the bill comes due. And with Justin friggin' Jefferson poised to get paid next offseason when he's eligible, yes, you could structure it where, okay, so we take the 4th year of his rookie deal and his 5th year option, and then essentially we just divvy up a signing bonus and all of the guaranteed money is in the back end of the contract. That's not a great idea. It isn't. And so you're going to have to impress upon Kirk Cousins, like, hey, even though you're still playing well, you're not playing at a $40 million a year clip. 35, sure. 33, even better. 30, fantastic. And if you want to keep your guys around, like if you want to keep Justin friggin' Jefferson on a long-term extension, if you want to keep Adam Thielen, who could easily become a cap casualty as he gets up there in age as well, if you want to keep a good offensive line in front of you, you know, guys like, you know, Darisaw and Ezra Cleveland eventually will be up for extensions. Hopefully they play well in their rookie deal the rest of the way. And you're going to have to make a decision, Kirk. Like, do you want to win a Super Bowl? Do you want that to be your legacy? Or do you just want to get every single nickel possible and then just ride off into the sunset or whatever? And also, why would you blame him for not wanting to leave the Vikings? Like, if you found an ATM that was just spitting out money, why would you leave? It's like, I've had enough. You know, this thing's probably going to run out of bills. I don't know. It's just so crazy. ATM machine go brrr. I can't roll my R's. But with Kirk, that's a good question because I mean Tom Brady is playing until he's 95 years old. Aaron Rodgers is 40, and can Kirk be that guy? Frankly, I think that he can, because we haven't seen a big difference between, say, 30-year-old Kirk Cousins and this year 34-year-old Kirk Cousins. Now, sure, he may fall off. He may take a complete faceplant a la final season Peyton Manning, where the body just falls apart. Like the mind is willing, but the flesh is spongy and weak. But Kirk, if he continues this level of play, and if he continues to build on this offense with Kevin O'Connell, like we know they can, and if he keeps getting Justin Jefferson the ball. Remember, Jefferson isn't throwing the ball to himself, and Jefferson is the youngest player, or no, the only player to 3K receiving yards in the first 2 seasons. Again, it wasn't thrown to himself. Well, part of it was Sean Mannion. Ha! Whatever. But the question will be, what's the money going to be? Like, so if Kirk plays well this year, and if the extension when he's 36 is 40, and then when he's 37, 42, and when he's 38 to 45, then no. Then absolutely not. But I think Kirk and his agent, Mike McCartney, need to understand, like, hey, we are getting into the back 9 here. We have this great chance with Kevin O'Connell, who's going to be a certified offensive genius, and then we can win a Super Bowl. I mean, the guy who turned Matthew Stafford into a big arm, stat stuffing, garbage time dude who never won a playoff game into a Super Bowl winner. All right, so we could do that. And you have Justin friggin' Jefferson, the best young wide receiver in the game. And if you want to keep a competent offensive line in front of you and keep you healthy for the rest of your career, then maybe we just give up a little bit. Just maybe a little bit. But I don't know. Kirk Cousins with the loose skin and old balls, just out there just slinging it. Look, whatever. F it. JJ's down there somewhere, man. Hell, I don't know. But we'll see. Again, we'll see what happens. But let's get through this year, and then we'll evaluate for next season. But what are your thoughts on our thoughts? Kirk Cousins says that he wants to retire as a Viking, and no, it does not mean that he wants to retire like next year. No. But what are your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below? Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.